Good morning, everyone. How are you? Hi, Jesus Escobar.
Hi, my love.
We're just setting up here.
Yes. You can talking with our guest now.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Everyone, today is the 20th of August. The month is going really, really quickly. I can't believe that we're more than halfway through the month. And so summer is nearly over and we're already beginning to change our clothes. We had rain last night, which was absolutely phenomenal. We're very,
my love.
very pleased to have enjoyed the rain. This is really big, as you can see. And so
And you too.
trying to squish into the frame.
Well,
How are you, my darling?
I'm fine.
Yes.
What about you?
I'm well. I'm very well, thank you. I
Very
slept
good.
extremely soundly last night, and Jesus had a few mosquitoes trying to kiss him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's part of the life.
Autumn time usually is when the mosquitoes become very furious and active, particularly in South Korea. I remember in South Korea, oh my goodness, there was this one night where I had like 6 mosquitoes in my bedroom, and it was not fun. I spent almost the entire night hunting, and they're very evasive. They escape easily from me. Are you very good at catching mosquitoes?
Yes, very good.
Oh really?
Yes. You don't notice yesterday when I catch 2 mosquitoes.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
I did see you catch one.
Yes, but it's not sufficient because, well, it's not important.
The topic of mosquitoes, for me, I feel quite passionate about, because in South Korea, the mosquitoes, more than actually biting you, obviously getting a bite from a mosquito is not pleasant, but what's more and more annoying than the bite is when they start buzzing in your ear. And in South Korea, they really buzz in your ear and they just don't let you sleep. And so you wake up in the morning, or you wake up, you're still tired and you're just like irritable because you haven't slept properly.
My love,
Yes.
do you want to start about the topic today?
Yes, we can start about the topic. What is the topic, my love?
Well, I think it is a genetic disease or mistake or misconception about genetic disease.
Yes. Yes, it's an interesting topic because
Yes.
many people struggle with fear about whether they're going to inherit a genetic disease from your maternal or paternal side of the family. And this has been something that I was worried about. I have, in my family, we have dementia and Alzheimer's from my maternal side. And I remember that while I was traveling in Thailand, I had a friend who was very worried that she was going to inherit dementia from her family, from her paternal side, because her father really struggled with it. And there was also the concern with depression, where depression seemed to run through her family. I don't recall if it was on her mother's side, but these fears that we're going to get things that are passed down genetically through DNA from grandparents to parents, and misconceptions about how powerful those really are.
Yes, it's very interesting, but I think the problem or the challenges is the almost all of the people don't know about when our parents are together and building to us and
The egg and the sperm. come together.
Yes, the DNA is information we have the our ancestor, grandparents, great grandparents, our parents, and the nature is wonderful because permit or give to us about great grandparents, grandparents, and our parents the characters or characteristics healthy, but also another characteristic and well it's very interesting topic because it's our ancestor information in our biological
Body.
yes.
It's interesting because, for example, the topic of, you know, what is really something that we can modify or something that we have some control of versus what do we have no control over is something that many of us struggle. For example, I inherited myopia from my mother, for example. Interestingly enough, my brother doesn't have this issue at all. He has 20/20 vision, and it's really funny that in the cases of some children, they manifest particular genetic expressions, and in other cases, not at all, and they could be siblings from the same parents. So there are some things that seem unchangeable, but there are other illnesses or diseases where we do have some control. My love, do you want to tell a little bit about the formation of DNA and the biological information? Because some of that is physical, like we said, like in terms of eyes. But is it all physical?
Well, we remember about the phenotypic and genetic expressions. The DNA is now or we know about the biological information in our codic genetic or genetic code. But some research says about of neurological, emotional characteristics come to our ancestor. Is
You mean that are passed down to us from ancestors?
Yes, but it's not a finished study. It's not finished.
Okay, so they're continuing the research.
Yes, it's a theory. For example, trauma about feeling afraid. Some different things. Okay.
Some event that somebody experienced a trauma, and then when they have a child, that's passed down to the child.
Yes, it's not now finished studies about, but is suggesting.
Okay, so this theory is continuing to be investigated, that you can pass down traumas to your children.
Yes.
Genetically.
Yes. In another words, is not only biological expression come to us, to our ancestor, is suggesting also another characteristic not biological.
So emotional.
Yes.
So emotional characteristics. So that's really, really interesting. I think that in some cases, this physical manifestation of issues, for example, the case of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson and his daughter Michaela, I think that's what's going on in that particular case, and this was something that I mentioned in our Spanish live stream yesterday, is Dr. Jordan B. Peterson has talked fairly frequently about his daughter Michaela, who has issues with her digestive system, her microbiota, whereby she suffers extreme pain if she goes out of a carnivore diet. It took them a long time. It took Jordan and his wife as I understand, many years to actually finally find a diet where his daughter could live normally and not be in excruciating pain. She has a genetic condition passed down whereby her father Jordan and his wife, her mother, had gene expression in the case of Michaela where their genetics, they had a particular, the particular joining of two particular expressions resulted where Michaela had excruciating digestive issues. And Michaela has a brother where he doesn't have this condition at all. But in her case, she has to have a very, very, very restrictive diet. And this actually works for her. But it goes to show whereby when you have two parents, that when you put their genetic codes together to create a child, they can produce a condition that can be very, very uncomfortable for their child, for their descendants.
Yes, of course. My love, I want to say hello to Adrian. Thank you, and you're welcome to our live. He now studies medical doctor.
Okay.
I see. Congratulations, and we're sending you a big hug, cousin.
Yay.
Yes.
And we want to welcome everybody here. That's also for the replay. There's many people that come back afterwards and watch the repetition of our live. And we'd like to invite all of you to share also in the comments whether you have any particular fears in terms of genetic diseases, if there are any particular diseases in your family that you're like, oh my goodness, am I going to develop that? I know that personally, in my case, it has been the topic of dementia and Alzheimer's. And thankfully, we now know a lot more about this topic, and we're able to understand how to avoid genetic expressions that can be passed down ancestrally in order to not develop these issues as we age.
My love, I want to share about history about my parent and my father, and maybe 30 years ago, my father changed his
Diet?
food routine. Yes, he lack of all of sugar, and
he removed sugar from his food, like refined sugar.
Refined and other things, for example, vegetable oils.
Vegetable oils.
Yes, because he believed.
Yeah.
The diabetes was come to him because remember the diabetes in this time was a disease heritage.
Inherited.
Yes, inherited. For this moment, everyone believe in these studies.
Okay, so people believed at that time that diabetes was inherited, And so your father made modifications to his diet.
Yes.
And so he removed sugar, and you said some oils.
Yes, and it's very interesting because my father has 9 brothers and sisters. He is one of the most healthy in your family.
In all of his family.
Yes, but all of the sister has some challenges about diabetes.
All his sisters. Okay, so it seems like diabetes is an issue in your father's family, but your father has not developed diabetes because he made changes to his diet.
Exactly.
And this happened, you said 30 years ago, or how long?
Yes, 30 years ago, more or less.
Okay, so him having that foresight, saying, I don't want to develop diabetes, changed his diet, and now, even though his sisters have some types of diabetes, he doesn't have diabetes. That's a really, that's like a case study of 30 years of your dad.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
That's wonderful.
I know about that because he mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
More or less in his 30th, finish of the 30s.
That's interesting because recently, I say recently, this is about 2 months ago, I was studying a BBC article with my students, and we were talking about the difference between inherited genetic traits and the impact of environment on our health. And so there were 2 things that were fundamentally affecting our health. One of them being what we inherit from parents, from our ancestors, and the other being the environment, the different aspects that affect our health. And we were learning about particular aspects, including how diet can impact the manifestation of gene expressions. Things like sleep are important. Things like how we manage stress. Now, everybody gets stress. Some of us receive a lot more stress than others, potentially. But another factor is how we manage stress. How do we internalize it?
Yes.
What habits do we cultivate to ensure that stress doesn't overwhelm us? Because there are things that we can do to manage stress, including, for example, going for a walk in nature, just going for a walk in general to manage stress, meditation practice, and some people do particular routines, like, for example, they like to paint, they like to do fine art, and this helps them relax, it helps them just be in the moment. And dancing, listening to music, maybe singing, and there are different ways that people manage stress in a way that they can channel it so that it doesn't overwhelm them. And all of these things affect our health, they impact our health.
Yes, it is very, very interesting topic because this topic has different focus. For example, my love, have a question or not a question is I want you sharing with us about the thinking about the persons worried about your parents, but also in some challenges of health, your descendants.
Yes, I think that in my case, as a child and teenager, I had extreme myopia, and it went through my mind where I thought to myself, I don't want to have children because I don't want them to inherit the myopia that I have. And the topic of whether you want to have children and pass down negative expressions that you inherited genetically you know, this is an important topic because these are things that we cannot control. These are beyond our control. And so deciding, you know, what can we control? For example, something that is, we believe comes through our parents genetically, like for example, diabetes, but our ability to actually control it or to ensure that we don't develop it versus something like eyesight, where you have that already and it looks like there's nothing you can do. There are some genetic diseases or illnesses where we don't have any control.
Or some challenges about morphology in the body. For example, some anomalies about forms in the body, or for example, another one's Down syndrome is not controlling, but it's very interesting because the specialists on genetic, on genetic or in genetic, they can controlling, for example, assistance on the
pregnancy and conception as well.
Yes.
It's interesting because during the Second World War,
they can manipulate or to do corrections in the expression very good about both the parents.
This was something that Hitler, the dictator from Nazi Germany, of course, was particularly interested in his quest to build the perfect Aryan race. And he employed scientists to particularly to put together what he considered to be the perfect human. And so this interest in playing with genetics and gene expression has been investigated for a very long time. I say in recent history, but it's interesting because as interesting as the genetic side is, there's actually a lot more that we can do environmentally to control what it is that we have manifested. You know, when we come, you know, when we are birthed, we have the opportunity now to build the most that we can of our health, considering the genetic expression that we have.
And is yes, I agree with you with your sentence, my love. I want to add the biological science is very young science. In this case, in this moment, don't know about many things in genetic, in different things about biological studies. Yes.
It's interesting because it was only fairly recently that I learned that cancer, in the world of cancer and genetically receiving cancer from our parents or inheriting cancer, it was only fairly recently that I discovered that actually there's so much that we can do to control whether we end up manifesting cancer or not. Because you can have parents, you can have aunties, uncles, grandparents that have had cancer and potentially passed away from cancer. And we think, oh my goodness, you know, does that mean that I'm going to get cancer? You know, what can I do? And it's interesting because there's so much environmentally that we can do to ensure that we stay as healthy as possible and don't develop tumors or cells that turn rogue and that become cancerous. Because cancer, as we know, is the mutation of what was healthy cells that begin to mutate, clump together, and then when they become cancerous, that's when they become dangerous and they begin to spread throughout the body. However, for example, we've learned that there are particular things that we can do. One of them we were talking about in our live stream last week, which was the impact of doing long fasting guided by doctors with specific protocols, and the wonderful effects that not intermittent fasting, but long-term fasting, and that's beyond, is it 3 days and longer?
Yes.
For fasting, in particular in the case of people that have developed cancer.
Yes. My love, do you want to talk about our own method?
Yes, I would love to talk about our method, and I'd love to talk about one of the tools that we're going to be using in our method, which is actually very, it's marvelous for actually genetic gene expression and the ability to reset genes, and it's none other than the stem cell activation technology that Jesus and I both use. Now, you've probably seen us regularly using the stem cell activation that we stick on our body. Essentially, it's resetting 4,200 genes. We are actually changing our telomeres. We're tightening our telomeres, which is exactly what protects the DNA genetic code or information.
Yes.
So that when cells are reproducing, they're reproducing healthy cells.
Yes.
And not rogue cells. They are not missing any information from our DNA. And that ability to support our telomeres so that when our cells are reproducing, they are reproducing with healthy cells, is incredibly powerful to ensure that we are maintaining the healthiest body that we can. And that's a tool that we're going to be using in our Emerald Pack, which is part of our Stronger program, our Stronger method. And we're going to be working very soon with individuals who want to improve their health. It could be with chronic diseases, it could be with things that are less, let's say, life-changing, less worrisome. It can be minor issues that you have. In my case, I had issues with extreme sun sensitivity. I say it's minor, but it was very inconvenient to me. I just simply thought it couldn't be something that could be changed. And we began using the stem cell activation. And in my case, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen with everybody, but in my case, I was able to step outside without sunglasses on a bright sunny day for the first time in probably 15 years without feeling pain. And that was, for me, extremely powerful. So Jesus and I are going to be offering 2 packs. One is Emerald, specifically for healing and bringing the body back into balance, whether it's chronic diseases where you're particularly worried, you might have diabetes, you could have rogue cells, you could have huge issues with inflammation in the body, pain in your back, in your hips, joint areas, etc. Or it can be more minor issues, potentially issues that you're not even aware of at this time. And we're also going to be offering a second pack, and the second pack is going to be for people who love going to the gym, who have a gym membership. Our package is called Black, and it's for people that are athletic or inclined toward being athletic, and for people that simply need guidance with nutrition, individualized. This is what you need to be having. And people that want lesson plans in terms of structured guidance with working out how to increase muscle in a way that's, I was about to use a Spanish word here, útil, useful, in a useful way, because we want to have muscle that we can use on a daily basis so that when we are 90 years old, we can maintain the healthiest version of ourselves. And doing things right now, supporting the body right now in a way that we can be absolutely marvelously strong by the age of 90 and maintain quality of life.
Yes, of course, totally agree with you, my love. If you feel identified with this content, if you want to be part about our next time launching about a stronger method, tell us in the comment.
Waitlist.
Yes, waitlist.
Waitlist. Comment waitlist.
Yes, and if you not write waitlist, you can write us on in DM and to say to us, hey, help me please.
We are working with clients who have all kinds of different issues in terms of health, but
Yes.
also people who simply want to gain strength and they need guidance at the gym. They need guidance to develop that body that they really want. So for some of us, we just really want to have that physical physique that makes us look and feel amazing. And for some of us, we just need to get to that foundational level where our health is in balance. So that's why we're starting out with Emerald and Black, to help people just like me 2 years ago, and to help people like Jesus who are like, yes, I love the gym, let's do this, you know. So anyway, having said that, my love.
Well, yes, I want to say to you,
Yes.
you are very beautiful, very beauty clouds.
Thank you, my love. And you look very handsome today as well. I love this t-shirt.
Thank you.
Guys, let us know, do you like Jesus wearing green? I love Jesus in green. I think this is a lovely shade of green. It's very natural.
Thank you, my love. Well, it's time to say
It's time to say goodbye.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for joining us for these few minutes here on a Thursday. We try to record every Thursday. We intend to do it at 10:30 a.m. Madrid time. And be sure to leave any questions, any comments that you have in the comments below. Let us know if you know somebody that wants to work with us, or if that person is you, and we're happy to share what we know. We'll get in contact with you soon. Take care and happy Thursday.
See you next Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Thursday.